reparations, right?
All right, Riley.
Where do the both of you stand on in 2020 African Americans, aka black folks, aka our niggas out here getting reparations? I want to start with you, Becky.
In my opinion, it's way too late. It would be nice to get them. But the thing is, the people that deserve them, the people that earn them, they're not benefiting from it.
Have you heard the saying, "I'm rich, bitch"?
Yeah.
Really?
That was from Ashley Larry getting his reparations.
Mm.
And
Okay. So here's what's up. I'm on the fence about a whole reparations thing.
we don't do fences around here.
Yeah, I do, because just like I'm always on the fence when we discuss abortion. I'm on the fence with reparations, and I mean, my colored side, because I heard people was calling us colors.
Mm-hmm. That was your people talk. Yeah, I wouldn't mind saying, and he said it properly too. That nigga said, yeah, I wouldn't mind going to see a colored doctor. What? And ladies and gentlemen, that episode has not aired yet, but it will. Believe me, it will. We have a professional athlete on the show calling doctors and trainers for the team colored. That just keep an eye out for that one.
Right. So anyway, my woke side says, hell yeah, give me what you owe me. And to your point, Beck, just because we are descendants of those people,
Right.
so they will benefit vicariously.
No, they won't.
Yes,
They're
they
dead,
will.
buried in the ground. They don't know.
They will benefit vicariously, because we talking, because in today's money, do you know how much the United States owes my people?
40 acres and a mule by today's standards. I want to say a mule is probably about 14 to 15 grand. 40 acres.
That's a whole lot of money,
yeah,
man.
Depending on
Where
where
them 40
it is.
acres at?
Man,
I'm saying,
just give us a state. Just give us a whole state.
That is a whole lot of money. So all jokes aside, this is why I say I am ambivalent. So my pro side, I say, yes, give it to me, because one, you made a contract with Black people of America.
Mm-hmm.
Honor that contract. Also, when you had Asian Americans in internment camps, you paid them
Reparations, yep.
You said, okay, we're sorry. What we did was wrong. Here's some cash. Jewish people, they received money. Wrong. We did something wrong. Here you go. We're sorry. Even though money cannot, in no way, shape, or fashion, that doesn't soften the blow. It does not. It would not make. That's just like you kill somebody and then I file a wrongful death suit and I get money from that. It will not bring them back. It will not assuage the hurt and the harm that you've done to people of color. But as I said, the legal side of me, the lawyer in me, says you made a contract with this group of people. Honor it. Give them what you owe them.
So here's my question, right? My question is,
Wait,
say
what was your opinion about reparations?
it depends on the answers to my questions. My first question would be, okay, there was this contract with, let's say at the time there were, I'm just throwing numbers out here, making
Roughly.
numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
There were 800,000 black people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Today, there are about, let's say 100 million black people. So how does it get broken up? And then since with all the interracial relationships, then we have to look at,
How do you find the people?
right, am I it's okay, I'm biracial. Do I only get 50% of my do I only get 20 acres and half a mule? Get to give me a donkey instead or some shit? But
But some people would say,
the
and
drop of
I mean,
black blood.
no, I wasn't going
Why
there.
couldn't we apply the same terms that they did?
Well, I wasn't going there, but this is where I was going. Some people would say that black people have received reparations, and
In what form?
they are continually receiving reparations
Welfare?
in the form of subsidized living.
Well, then
So-
take it away from white people then.
And that would be the argument that I would make, but that is what I've actually heard people say. That I've heard people make that argument, that while you are saying you want reparations, you are living off of the government. So in effect, you
There
are
was
getting
a congressman who said that maybe last year, and he was one of the big name congressmen. He said, you guys should be thanking us for bringing you over here and making you slaves, basically, because look at the lives you have now compared to what you would have had. You don't know what we would have had.
right.
And on top of that, we were a peaceful people from all historical accounts.
But we were a more advanced people as
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah,
So-
we just didn't have no damn common sense getting on them fucking boats. But okay, I do believe that the United States government does owe black people something. Now, I don't think 40 acres and a mule, or even today's equivalent in money for 40 acres and a mule, is practical. But
No, because we would
so,
bankrupt the country.
right. This is what I'm thinking. Free college tuition for all black people.
Right, because they give free college tuition to Native Americans.
Yep. So free, absolutely free, and that is in perpetuity. Free, and I don't care if it's a public school or a private school. If it's Harvard, all right, government, you got to foot the bill. But that's something that I kind of toyed with, because there's no way that they're just going to cut checks and say, here's a check for you, here's a check. And then just getting down into the fine-grained details of that would take years alone. So let's just say if you are black.
I like your idea, but then I guess you could prove your blackness the same way that in Native Americans.
Yeah, by measuring dicks, right? Oh, no, hold on. I might not get my reparations then. Yeah. Don't you fucking agree? Motherfucker. That's why your damn neck broke. Shit. Awesome.
Woo! Score one for Beck.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you measure your blackness by your genealogy.
Right. That's what I said. So basically the same way that we do, or the United States does, for Native Americans. But, your idea has some merit. But you know what? And I said legal side. So this is why I'm ambivalent. My con side says, hell no. The time for that in agreement with what Beck said earlier. The time for that has come and gone. Instead of reparations, in keeping with or same floor of thought, opportunity is what we as a people should want, and not handouts. As the phrase goes, hand up. So, and not to say, and we've said it on previous episodes, everybody needs help every now and then. So, but the way you could pay me back would be to give all of my people the opportunity to live better, to act the American dream, to have a piece of that. So rather than systematically confining people of color to ghetto life, give them the opportunity to rise above that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some breaking news here. Breaking news. In all seriousness, A Few Screws Loose, the podcast, has just been nominated for the Pod Excellent Awards in the category of Best Niche Podcast.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to need y'all to vote for us. And for those of you who don't listen to A Few Screws Loose, it's the mental health-ish podcast that me and my co-host P host. So I just wanted to, that just came across my screen. Yo, vote for us. We'll put the details in the show notes.
All right.
But yeah, see, we be doing shit out here. We be doing shit.
All right.
So that means we gotta step up our game, man.
Yeah, how Black Law ain't get on that? They don't fuck with y'all too. That's what it is. They don't fuck with y'all too.
I guess that's what it is.
No, okay, opportunities. I can agree with that. So let's think of opportunities here. So we named school, job, trades. We want to get out of the ghetto.
No, just the free ride mentality, because we've said it before and everybody out there knows poverty is generational.
It is.
So
is wealth.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And wealthy people train their children how to keep wealth and create it. People who are born in poverty do not have the skills most of the time. It's not everybody, because there are many people who were born in poverty and worked themselves to learn how to take themselves out of it, to bring themselves out of it. But most people who live in poverty are complacent in that poverty.
And that is because that is what they've seen their entire
for generations.
Lives.
Right. It's like I said, it is generational. So my grandmother lived in the projects. My mom lived in the projects. I live in a project. My children, now I'm living in projects with my children. So this is what my children see. And even though we as a people, we say all the time, man, I want to get out of this place, I want to come up. What we have been taught, the only ways that we can rise above is if we are singers, athletes, actors.
It's very seldom too that you hear okay, so growing up in the 80s and 90s, we had our default answers, right? What do you want to be when you grow up? Of course, NBA, NFL, whatever. But we also, now, whether we meant it or not is one thing, but we also said doctors, lawyers,
astronauts.
You know, yes. you gave the right answer.
Right, basically. But these days, that's not even a thing with these kids.
I want to be a rapper. I want to be a man. I'm gonna play ball.
Social media influencer, like that. A YouTuber, like that's what I want to be. And it's really sad. But then when you look at, I'm about to go left field, but when you look at technology in the possession of people in poverty, right? For the longest, they couldn't afford computers, right? I remember, now, weirdly enough, me growing up in poverty, dirt poor, we always had computers. We had computers before schools had computers, but that's because my mother's job required her to at least know how to fix and work on and program computers. But computers used to run like a basic Windows PC would run $3,000-$4,000 back in the day.
That's right.
So it was, I even remember going on Black Planet in the 90s. Was that the 90s? Black Planet. And like, you'd be trying to type to the little girls, or it might have been on AIM or whatever. But one of the reoccurring themes was, I don't have a computer. I have to come to the library because, you're trying to hook up with them. And it's like, I don't have a computer. So, I'll come back to the library and check and shit like that.
Honestly, in some locations in America, that's still happening where you have to go to
the library.
McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah, McDonald's parking lot to do your business.
Yeah, but that's because there's no accessible
Internet.
broadband.
And where is that?
That's middle America there.
Yeah, but also there's inner cities that don't have access to it as well.
Certain like Pittsburgh and shit like that. But I really forgot where I was going, but something about computers being poor. Oh, and then once we got that technology into our hands, right? You would think that would have enhanced our lifestyles, making things, because computers have always throughout history made things easier, right? They made the job application. Who has seen a paper job application? Like, I haven't seen one of those in, I know you have, but you work for a bootleg company. Like, they don't do that. Everything, Becky, you're in HR. Everything is online, right?
Yep.
No one brings in their resume and say, hey, I would like to drop this off. And so it makes life easier. But we found a way to pervert the technology.
And what we did with technology is provided a window to our world. That's what we did with technology. We wanted the world to see
us,
who we were in our native environments.
But now it's even going. It's gotten to the point now. Okay, so we had that, right? We had people just getting on online dating, and then you had chatting with your friends through Yahoo Messenger, AIM Messenger, whatever. Now, while we were doing that shit, our non-poor counterparts, they were applying for jobs. They were building websites. They were building e-commerce.
That's right.
And, so anyway, fast forward, now cell phones. So we get the, this is before smartphones. We had the little flip phones with the cameras and shit. We're sending dick pics. That's what we're doing with it. And what they're doing with it is they're conducting fucking business with their e-commerce websites and whatever. So all the technology that we get it late. We get it years after people who aren't poor get it, right? But when we do finally get it, and the codes are unlocked. Everything. We don't do anything. We don't do. So right now what we're doing with it is we're taking selfies, we're posting them online. We're documenting staged events in our lives, and like fights. That's really big.
Yeah, World Star.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like, we're using this shit to the detriment of our community and of ourselves. Whereas again, our counterparts now, I'm going with race, white people. The majority of them are not using it for the same reasons we are. Now, I challenge you to turn that alarm off, but I challenge everyone out here that's listening to go check out randomly, not anybody that's on your friends list, not anybody that you're following. Check out random black person's social media page. Check out a random white person's social media page. Check out a random Asian's social media page and conduct that same experiment over and over and over again. Because don't just do 3, do 10, 12 people. And then, I mean, I'm not sure what you'll find, but I'm pretty sure you'll find a pretty big difference in how we're using this technology.
So once again, going back to what I said earlier.
Man, I went on a spill. I don't even know how
it even got to reparations.
Well, it goes back to opportunity and teaching and what we teach our children. So as I was saying, rather than give me money, because the thing about money is that it can be a blessing and a curse. If you know how to use it properly, it will bless you. But if you don't, it's a curse, because going back to what Dan says, money in the hands of a black person and money in the hands of a non-black person, difference in how it is handled. Because once again, Caucasian people teach their children about fiscal responsibility. They teach them how to build and maintain wealth. We teach our kids about getting the new J's and getting Call of Duty and Madden 19 about to come out. We teach our children about keeping up with trends to the detriment of the light bill or the water bill or food in the house. And even though I am saying this, and that is cliches about the black community, it is a cliche because it is something that has been done over and over and over and over and over again. And it's something that I have witnessed over and over and over and over again. So we do not teach our children about fiscal responsibility. We've had shows about this because we do not know anything about fiscal responsibility. Mm-hmm. So when I say, instead of handing me a pocket full of money and letting me run wild, teach me, give me opportunities to learn about business and finance.
So basically, don't treat black people like the star athlete that got $1 million contract and he's from the hood.
Because the reason why this star athlete has money managers and business managers and X, Y, and Z is because he knows absolutely nothing about any of this. And if you look at most of these people who are coming into the NFL or the NBA, what do you see?
Man, I can use a real life example here, right? Before we jump right back on topic with reparations, right? Recently, Ann knows what I'm talking about. There has been an opportunity, right, for some people that I know that has the potential to be lucrative, right? Very good potential. However, a lot of the people that were offered this opportunity don't know shit. And this is not one of the times, as P said, this is not something you want to learn on the job. There's too much at stake. So going back to like those athletes that have all these managers and they have people that help them navigate. But the regular Joe, and I like to consider myself smarter than the average bear, I don't understand a lot of the shit, which is making me amongst this group of people with this opportunity to question if this is something that I should participate in, because I honestly don't understand it. And there's been many times in my life over the years where I've done things that I didn't understand. I went with the flow. That's kind of how we're in this house right now. There's lots of things like I can't even begin to tell you, but I didn't understand. I knew that there was something that I wanted out of it. So I'm like, okay, let's all this pile of paperwork right here, right? All these processes and all this shit. Let's just push that aside because this is what I want over here. I just got to go through all this and sign my name on some shit to get to this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of our people operate like that as well. And it's sad, but now I find myself in that position, and it's in a position that I would normally say we should know better. We should educate ourselves. We should, but sometimes you're faced with something to where it's out of your league, and without those people to help you navigate, the regular Joe, we don't have those people that help us navigate.
And then you don't have the skill to
That's the other thing.
navigate it yourself,
Mhm.
which is why I said, instead of handing me money, give me opportunity to learn how to manage money before. Because
Mhm.
if you know, the thing is, that whole teach a man to fish,
Mhm.
teach me to fish. Let me go out and learn. Help me to get the education. You mentioned free secondary education
Mhm.
for all people, all Black people.
Mhm.
All right. That is an opportunity for me to learn how to, because you think about it, most people don't even consider college as an avenue because of the expense.
Yeah.
So, right. So it's like, okay, yeah, I want to do something different, but do I really want to spend 4 years and at the end of 4 years not be able to find a job in my field, and the job that I do find, I'm crippled under this mountain of student loan debt. And that's another thing. Stop going to college just to get the student loans. We covered that before, but because we're talking about this now, stop doing that. Because why put yourself, see, and that's something else. Fiscal responsibility, something we don't learn about. But what we do know is we know how the game is played, and we know how to hustle. So the hustle is stay in school for as long as you can, keep getting student loans, and that's how we live in.
See, and that goes right back to what I just said is I see what I want, and you just got all this shit in front of you. Okay, let's push that aside. And all this shit over here that you pushed aside to get to what you want is going to come back and bite you in your ass 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line.
Right, because when you don't get, trust me, when you don't get your tax return, when you expect an $8,000 in a tax return, and the IRS goes, well, the Department of Education said you owed them, so we sent the money to them. That's when it no longer becomes a game.
See, and speaking of tax returns too, right? In our fields, and well, let me say in our industry, we're very familiar with tax refunds and people who get substantial amounts, actually equaling probably more than their wages for the entire year, right? We also have the unique opportunity to watch how they spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you send out these reparations, it's going to be that Dave Chappelle skit. That is literally what's going to happen. You're going to have Ashley Larry buying a truck full of Hennessy, Newports. I would buy stock in Newports, trust me. Jewelry, clothes, because it's free money. This is money that
that's the thought. See, that is the thought process. And that's why I said, instead of handing me a lump sum of cash, teach me some money management skill. Get me on par so that when you give me this money, I know not to go and blow it. Because you said that, I can remember finding that receipt for the what was it? The Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, the Louis Vuitton bag. Yeah.
So,
and that was I probably shouldn't say.
That was almost half of
It
the
was like
tax return.
$2,000, wasn't it?
Almost half of the tax return.